combination of the back-to-back, too. We were trying to move guys in and out, and he just got in there and started rebounding and making some plays, and that's what I always say, if you're playing, those stints can get longer, right? And if you're playing well, I'm just trying to coach the game as we're seeing it out there. And I thought they were small. They went small a lot of the game, so we end up with KJ and Ricky and Tobias as kind of our biggest guys out there, right? But it was okay with matchup-wise and all that stuff. But he just kept making plays. He stayed with it. He fought. He got offensive rebounds, made a big, huge offensive rebounding bucket down the stretch, and we were just rolling with what was working.
Yeah, I mean, he's been with you guys now for a couple weeks just because you've been so depleted. Just maybe what has he shown you in kind of that in-between time that maybe allowed him to step up the way he did tonight?
Yeah, I mean, you see how he plays, and I think you would say, well, what's one characteristic you see? He automatically plays really hard, right? But he does everything that way, like walkthroughs, shoot-arounds, practice. He's one of those guys that's got that kind of motor that is always switched on. He does everything with good focus and intensity, right? So it's hard, it's hard not to like that, right?
Tyrese had one of those quieter scoring first halves, but was still making an impact, rebounding, sharing, ends the game with a pretty impressive stat line, especially coming off of an illness. What did you make of the way that he sort of took control tonight? Yeah,
I think that, that's kind of, especially where we are right now, that's kind of the role, or that's kind of his job right now, right? He's not feeling great. You can tell that in the first quarter, really quick stint here and there, just whatever, but he just kind of letting the game play out, and they start picking up a little bit defensively. Then he's got to go to work and create some shots. I thought he did an amazing job of tonight, playing through a lot of contact in the second half, and finishing off some of those things. Obviously hit a couple deep, big threes when we really needed to keep the scoreboard moving. But that's to me like a great leadership job by him tonight, right? Playing that way, yeah.
You've talked all week about the importance of picking off a win, sort of whatever it takes. How good did it feel to have this week culminate in being able to do that? Yeah, I mean, it's good. I mean, I think, again, I'm going into these things trying to figure out how we can give ourselves a chance, to win, because there's just so many unknowns, right? Two guys that haven't had a practice yet, and three G League guys up, and all. I mean, there's a lot of unknowns. So I told the guys, I'm proud of you, man. I told them at halftime, we're gonna have to find a way to gut this out, because it's hard to keep running and making play, because it's fast, and we played last night and all that stuff, and it's going to be like gut check. Can you just force yourself to play through the play, and then if you're that tired, you got to come out. And I really think our guys did gut check a lot of plays and made some tough winning plays at the end.
Nick, Buddy gave you guys a lot tonight, like not just with his shooting. He rebounded the ball, defense, assisting. Is his passing through the first two games, has it kind of been more impressive than maybe you even thought when you first brought him in?
Well, I think that he understands the game, right? He really understands it. So he's going to make a lot of right plays. You don't hardly ever see him make like a silly play. Right? Like, that was such a silly play. Like, he just understands, like, he's good at getting out of screens. He's good when he catches it. He knows if he's got the shot or if he doesn't, he's supposed to move it on. And then he kind of keeps things moving, I think. He gets off, he runs to the other side of the floor. He's creating actions sometimes by not doing that much, but he's creating space and actions for other guys. And one other guy, Cam's the same. He understands what he's doing out there. Like, Cam didn't score a ton tonight, but his 6 assists, he was creating offense. Like, when he was out there, like, we had some stuff going. Like, he was hitting the roll, or he was getting in there and firing out to some shots. And then he just when you needed him to, he'd turn on the jets and go lay one in. He was really, I thought that was our best sequence of what the offense looked like with him out there. It was a little tricky because I was trying to figure out how in the heck everybody would guard, if we went super small. But he certainly made the offense tick when he was in there tonight.
And then just Tyrese and Buddy, like, as a combination, what did you kind of see from their first outing together as a duo?
Well, you probably saw a lot of that stuff late in the game of them at the top. right? But he's really, that's a skill that he's kind of really good at is you know, and you saw all the combinations. He comes flying into that screen and roll, a small, and Tyrese just goes and lays it in. The first one, the speed confuses them, and then they see it coming again, and the next time two guys stay with Tyrese, and he's off the ball, and he drives it and lays it in with that left hand. Two big layups that we got, and it's just hard to guard when there's speed on the ball and shooting off the ball.
With KJ and the small ball,
yes.
This is probably the longest we've seen that for, and you had him out there late in the game. Just what'd you make of his night, and how do you feel about his ability to do this sort of thing moving forward?
Yeah, again, it was just a little tricky because he was playing excellent on defense, right? Like he was like switching out and stopping a lot of those drives and doing a lot of that stuff. And again, it was like, boy, we want to keep him out there, but Ricky was playing so well, and we really probably need to end with Tobias, one of our vets. It was tough that he got 22 minutes, and he probably deserved closer to 30, to be honest, with the way he was defending. So I thought he was very, very impactful.
There were a few stretches where you used Tyrese and Cam together.
Yep.
Is that a look that you like moving forward? Is that something that you had to do out of necessity? Is that, I guess, something to expect moving forward?
Well, I really liked it. Again, it's a little bit of the change of scenery for Tyrese to not be on the ball all the time and face the double teams in the pick and rolls or face the switching or whatever. And it gives, and again, I think Cam is really good up there at creating for himself and for others. So I do like it. I like it a lot, and I think it's something you could see, yeah.
And you mentioned the shorter stints for Maxey. Was that something by design because of the illness, or was that just the flow of the game, how it happened?
I would say by design, once we saw how he was, he wasn't breathing great early. It didn't look like he was winded, or he wasn't quite, pushed through being out there yet, like rhythm or just conditioning or whatever it was. I just thought that he looked like he was, needed shorter runs and breaks, and trying to rest him so he could play late in the game. Yeah.
There are certainly a lot of sets you could run with Tyrese and Buddy. The one I think you went to first and often was that pitch action where Tyrese comes up and either flips it to Buddy, and it works because you can flip it to Buddy, and Tyrese also has the option to take it himself. How helpful is it to have those simple options that you can kind of just mix and match and get different results?
Well, it's really good. It's kind of like an extension of it's one more extension of one of our plays we already have. So it's like you guys maybe seen us run that before, where we run in a pitch and throw it, and it comes back to Tyrese, and then we come up with a step up. But instead of that one, we just keep going across with it instead of having the vertical screen, and that's actually an action that just suits Buddy. I've seen him run it before, that almost exact same action. So we came out and started the second half and ran that a few times. Yeah. Yep. All right. Thanks.